You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we're going to talk about the WNBA CBA. As we know, the last couple of days has been a back and forth. And yesterday, Mark Cuban, of course, the former owner of the Mavs, longtime owner in the NBA, come right out and said, the WNBA does not have the money to give these players a significant raise as the way things are structured. He laid out a plan. That's not going to happen. All right, that plan's not going to happen. There were some good things in there, some not so good things in there. Might have been a little better than what they got right now. I get that. So make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube is still, their bot system is unsubscribing people, yada, yada, yada. So I've done videos on this guy before, David Samson, and he's got a YouTube channel. He is a former sports executive. He was with the Miami Marlins in Major League Baseball, and he's talked a lot about, and he's given some brutal truth. Talking about the owners will close the league, yada, yada, yada. The owners are not going to give in on certain things when it comes to this CBA deal. And he brings up something you guys have heard come out of my mouth. They're trying to, the players are trying to add in things to this deal as revenue for the league when you can't do that because it's not reoccurring revenue. You can't count on it. It's one-time monetary hits into the coffers, right? And there's a lot of expenses around this. And we got Napheesa Collier making comments about the CBA. I don't know if she's finally coming to some realization. I don't know. So let's check this out. In the midst of all of it, former MLB executive David Samson has claimed that the Players Association may have to accept that the WNBA owners have the advantage and an agreement will only come as a result of a strike or a compromise on their end. Quote, will there be a compromise at the 11th hour? You certainly would like to think so, but a compromise that is not weighted towards the owners is not going to happen. These players are not going to get anything close to what they think they're getting. So if you are a WNBA player out there or somebody who is involved in the WNBA Players Association, please take this message seriously. He said during his Nothing Personal with David Samson podcast, again, it's on YouTube and it's a good podcast, it talks the business of sports. The former Miami Marlins president claimed that the players' demands simply do not fall in line with the business plan of the WNBA franchises. And any deal will not be straightforward simply because of the nature of the payments the WNBPA continues to demand. Quote, when the Players Association wants to say to owners, you're having expansion fees, relocation fees, you're getting a one-time signing bonus from your broadcast partners. All of those one-time events are not calculated in terms of viability of a business. I have been saying this for 6 months. You cannot put in expansion fees and relocation fees into the coffers for the WNBA for their money. They're one-time hits. They're one-time monetary hits. And there's a lot of expenses that come around from the expansion fees and blah, blah, blah. They're trying to say that's part of the money the WNBA is making. It's one time. It's not reoccurring, but I bet you're wanting your salary to be reoccurring, don't you? You see, it doesn't work out like that. In other words, that is not money that the WNBA can count on making. By the way, they've already laid out their expansion plans. They're just supposed to keep adding teams every single year just to be able to pay these players. We know that's not how. I mean, the NFL hasn't added a team in how many years? How many years? It's been a long, I mean, we know leagues don't just add teams. All of those one-time events are not calculated in terms of viability of business. And the more players want to tell owners to count relocation fees and expansion fees as part of a going forward revenue, the more I guarantee there will not be a deal done. So in other words, if the players keep riding that wave of trying to get the league to recognize that as part of their income, the league is absolutely not going to do that. Because it is not reoccurring revenue for the league. There's going to be years where there are no expansion fees or relocation fees. In fact, most years. I don't know. So, Napheesa Collier is saying someone is going to have to fold. Are the players finally getting to the point where they're like, we're getting too close to the season now. Things are tightening up. WNBA PA President Napheesa Collier is confident the season will happen, but it won't come without compromise. Quote, well, someone's going to have to fold, aren't they? She told USA Today Sports regarding the ongoing CBA talks while promoting a partnership with Unrivaled. Talking about the WNBA CBA while doing something with the competition Unrivaled. It's insane. It really is that this keeps coming up. Quote, we don't think obviously what we're asking for is unfair. Otherwise, we wouldn't be asking for it. But we understand it's a negotiation, and I think we are trending in the right direction. But we have to be able to stand strong in what we believe in and make sure we are getting a fair cut in this pie that are building together as a league and as players. Guys, what I believe is going to happen here, going to have another 2 weeks of this bullshit. There's going to be literally, there's going to be a deadline set somewhere, a drop dead date. And right before that drop dead date goes, they're going to come to a deal. And they're wanting a salary cap right now. They're asking the players of $9.5 million. I think the league's compromised to what, 6.5 or something like that. I don't know. I see them coming together at around like 7, something like that. I'd have to look at the numbers, but somewhere around 6.5 to $7 million on a salary cap and a little bit more salary, and that's going to be it. It's going to be a wrap at that point. Okay, and in fact, let me see. Okay, no, the league has come up to 5.65 million. So I'm guessing somewhere like 6.5 million, which is going to be a little bit more money in their pockets per year, the players, and that's going to be it. There's not going to be this huge gross revenue share. That's not going to happen because the league can't afford it. And I will say this, even though there's flaws in Mark Cuban's plans, his play salary structure he laid out, I will say this. Him coming out and just saying the league does not have the money, I think it's good for people that's that high profile to come out and say publicly the WNBA does not have the money to pay these players what they are asking for. It cannot happen. These players need to hear it. Because obviously, I don't know. A lot of shit's not sinking in with this bunch. Not the sharpest tools in the shit. I'm just pointing that out. And they're going to do something. The players are going to do something radical so it looks good on social media. And then they're going to sign the deal. You know? Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.